Hey Kitchen Marisa fans, how's it going? It's been a while, right? That's okay. So I thought I'd jump on today with my version, Marisa's version of spaghetti and meatballs because it was requested of me. So stick around and let's see what I come up with. Yay! So just so you know, my version is always going to be a little different than the norm, but it's going to incorporate the norm, most definitely. So this is what we have. It's going to consist of beef, minced beef. This specific version is going to have both sweet sausage and spicy hot Italian sausage and some ground lamb. So the pork is going to be in the sausage portion, but that's going to be even tastier because of all the seasonings that are in there to begin with. And then the lamb, it's going to have some eggs, it's going to have some cheese, and right now I am going to saute some onions in olive oil because that is going to be part of the mix. All right, stay tuned. And because I'm making it for someone else, of course, my family will have the opportunity to eat their own. I am using gloves to mix them. I have washed my hands thoroughly, but you know what? In the season of COVID, you never ever know. I'm adding some garlic as well in the onions that I'm frying because I want it to have some flavor, but I will not incorporate them into the meatball batter, let's call it. Hey, new terminology, meatball batter. So before I put in the meat, I'm going to whisk the eggs. I put in some half and half. I'm going to put in some garlic powder, and I'm going to put in some pepper. I've already put in some salt, and if any of you are following me, you know that my trifecta is always salt, pepper, garlic powder. So I amalgamate it and whisk it all nice and together, and then I start incorporating my meat just like so. And again, I'm going to be putting, this is beef, I'm going to be putting lamb, and I'm going to be putting sweet and hot Italian sausages already made. All right, okay, stay tuned for more. So I've added the breadcrumbs, parsley, I'm going to add the onions, and yes, I've kind of caramelized the onions, and so that's going to give it some flavor, like a lot of flavor, even if you think it's burnt. I took out that garlic, remember? I put garlic just to give it some flavor. I can put that on something else. Actually, I'm going to add this to my sauce because remember, it's meatballs and sauce, okay? And then finally, last but not least, I'm going to add cheese, right? What's an Italian cook without putting some cheese everywhere? So I have a little bit left of my Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. Okay, that's already, I mean, I have blocks of cheese and I prefer that, but that one was already, already shredded, right? Now I also have some pecorino romano. So, you know, adding the pecorino romano is just putting flavor on flavor on flavor on flavor, right? So let me just put some of that pecorino romano goodness. Delicious. Now, let me start mushing it all up. And you'll see the finished product in just a second. Okay, so here's the way I'm doing. Look at those beautiful meatballs. And please don't listen to Max because he's screaming because he wants me. So look, this is a technique that I've done. Maxie. So you mix breadcrumbs, cheese, garlic powder, pepper, salt. And as I'm of course, making the balls, this is what I do because it can get very sticky, right? So with one hand, I'm getting the amount that I need. With the other hand, come towards me. I'm just sticking it in the breadcrumbs mix, and then I'm rolling out my meatball. Why? Because it helps with the stickiness, number one, because it's breadcrumbs. But the breadcrumbs are all seasoned with salt, pepper, garlic powder, cheese. And here we go. And we make the balls ready to be cooked. All right? Stay tuned for the next. So this is where the cooking begins. Now, I like to do this on a stovetop because when you fry, I guess you're frying, right? Your meatballs, you're going to create that hard little shell on the top, and that's going to caramelize the flavors, and it's going to really give it this flavor like none other. In a separate pan, and because I have so many meatballs that I made, because there's a few people I'm going to be giving this to, I'm going to make the sauce. So, as usual, you start cooking the onions until they're translucent, and then I'm going to put that garlic that I put right before, and I chopped it up with all these meatballs. Who's hungry? Yum. Check that out. Look how the meatballs look. Delicious. Do you agree? So here we go. At this point, the sauce has been done. I used San Marzano tomato, chunks of San Marzano. You put salt, pepper, some garlic powder, and sugar. And then these fresh basil that I purchased fresh or grew fresh. And then I cleaned, dried, and placed in the freezer. That's the best way to preserve and have it all year round, unless you are able to go to a supermarket that has fresh basil. But I'm not gonna go to the store every day to go get fresh ingredients. I know some people who do that, which is fine, and that's great. They have a lot of time on their hands, but I don't. So look, that baby is gonna be dunked into that baby. Yeehaw! Yummy, yummy, yummy. Okay, here it is. Sauce is brewing. Last batch cooking. Let's start putting these in. And this, my people, is how we make meatballs with sauce to create that coveted spaghetti and meatball dish that was requested of me. And that's exactly why I'm doing it, because it was requested. Actually, I don't typically make spaghetti with meatballs, but in light of the season, there we go, people. Let's see the finished product coming soon. All right, people, here it is. Woo-wee! How beautiful does that look? Just add it on to your spaghetti or whatever shape pasta you like, and you are good to go. And there you have it, spaghetti and meatballs. Enjoy.